You know how there's just those friends you're not close to and talk to anymore? Well, that's pretty much what this story's about because I don't like this guy at all anymore. What's up, guys? It's Fantasy here, and I'm coming back at you with another story. And this story is a little bit crazy. It's a little bit different than my last one. It's a little bit of a step above the last. So let's jump right into this. But a little bit of backstory. I had this friend. Let's say his name is Dave because I don't want to give out his real name. But his name's Dave, and Dave used to be a really good friend of mine. Probably my best friend through 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Like, he was like just about one of my best friends. And Dave, he was a good kid back then. He wasn't as bad as he is now because I don't really talk to him as much. Like, I have classes with him and stuff, but I don't talk to him as much as I do, and I don't hang out with him outside of school. And so Dave and me were texting one day, and Dave decided, hey, you want to hang out, right? And usually we don't hang out at each other's house because our parents don't let us do like go outside and just hang around and do whatever. So we messaged another friend, and let's say his name is what? Let's say Chance. Now Chance, we messaged him and we said, hey bro, can we come hang out at your house? Because we were all three good friends at the time, and we were wondering if we can hang out with each other. And he says, of course guys, yeah, come over. So we go over to Chance's house. We come inside. It's just a normal day. We're all sitting inside playing Xbox, eating food, just doing what normal 8th graders do, right? Because that's pretty much what we do. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. My voice is a little bit raspy, so if you guys can tell, that's why. But now Chance was sitting there playing his Xbox. We're all playing, and Trace is sitting there on his phone, right? And we're playing. I believe we're playing Black Ops 2. You know, like 1v1s. You know how it is. 8th grade. We're all doing that kind of stuff. And well, I'm just gonna say that I don't do this a lot. Like this is my first experience with drugs, I guess I'd say. This is my first experience with drugs, and I just wanted to throw that out there. But Dave says, hey guys, he's like, I have to go pick something up, and I'm thinking, I don't know what this guy's picking up. I didn't think that at the time, and then I was thinking to myself, like, what can he be getting? Like, I'm sure, like, maybe his mom's dropping off clothes or something like that, around the thoughts of that. And he says, yeah, no, we got to go pick something up. And I'm like, okay, let's go. It's about 30 minutes after he says it. And he says, yeah, the guy's going to be here at what, like 3:30 or something around that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine by me. We have the time. And Chance says he's going to decide to stay at the house while we go and pick it up because Dave said it'd only be like a couple minutes. It'd only be like 5-10 minutes. Well, he lived right next to the park, and the person he was talking to said to meet at the park. And he didn't give me any information on what we were doing or what we were picking up or whatever. So we leave the house, right? And it's like a 5-10 minute walk. So we leave the house around 2:20. Takes 10 minutes to get there. And we get there, and he says to me, we're picking up weed. And I'm like, what? I've never had any experience with drugs in my life at all. And this is like a drug deal. I'm like waiting at the park for a drug deal. And I'm like scared out of my mind because I was a good kid back then. I still am now. I'm not a horrible kid, but I'm not as good as I was. But he says we're picking up weed, and I'm thinking, what is going on? I've never done anything drugs. I've never drank. I've never done any of this. I'm kind of scared. And he tells me that I'm not supposed to be here, but he wanted me to go with him. And so I asked him, what do I do? You know, what do I do? I didn't know what to do. I was kind of scared because the car was pulling up. It was coming down the street, like you could see it. And he says, yo, the car's coming. You got to hide. And I have no idea where to hide, but it's on like this back alley of the park behind a swimming pool, and there's a dumpster. The only place I can hide is a dumpster. It's like a huge, like, you know, like one of those huge blue like dumpsters where you dump metal and stuff in. And I can't get into it. I needed him to boost me into it. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta get in here quick. I'm like, I need you to boost me. And he boosts me up to the dumpster, and I eventually end up getting inside of it, like scared out of my mind. My heart's beating as fast as I can. I hear the car pull up to the dirt. It comes around the corner, and I hear him talk for a bit. I can't make out exactly what they're saying, but I mean, of course, it's like drug talk or whatever, and they're talking about it, and I'm kind of like freaked out. My heart's racing. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in a trash can. I'm probably making a bigger deal about this than I should, but it's like really not that huge a thing. And I hear a car door close, and I didn't know if it was the guy getting out or if it was my friend getting in the car. And so I wanted to peek over, but I ended up not peeking over. And as that car door closed, the car did not move at all. Like, I heard the car engine still being on. The windows of the car were very tinted, so even if I did look over, I couldn't see into the car. And I was scared out of my mind. Keep that in mind. And I ended up actually peeking over, and I still couldn't see anything. I still couldn't see through the car windows or who the person was. And because of course my friend's not gonna tell me that's his like drug dealer or whatever. The kid's really not a good kid anymore. He's kind of a bad kid that I don't choose to hang around. And so I end up sitting in a trash can. There's not that much trash in it. There's like some like cardboard boxes, some metal pieces, some pipes, and like a lot of dirt on the bottom. So when I'm moving around in it, because it's very wide, it's like a wide trash can, I'm moving around in it, and you can kind of hear the dirt kind of crunch as I move. And I was really scared he was going to hear me. And I was waiting in there for around 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe even 20. Like, it was a long time. And I was like, and I heard nothing, completely silent outside of the trash can. I didn't even hear the car anymore. I thought maybe the car drove away and I just didn't hear it because I kind of zoned myself out, like, in my mind. And so I decide to get out of the trash can. And when I get out of the trash can, my leg gets caught over the side of it and I fall face first into the dirt, completely like scratching the side of my face. I had a huge like well across the side of my face. My whole knee was like bloodied up. Like, it had a huge gash in the side of my knee. And I was kind of like limping, and the car was still there. And the guy gets out of the car and starts yelling at me and my friend to leave. And I just ran. I took off 100% running. I jumped over a fence into where a bunch of cows were, and I just took off. The guy's screaming. He gets in his car, kicks my friend out of his car, and he basically takes off. He takes off. He drives off. I'm running for my life. I am so scared. I don't know if this guy's a gun. I don't know what this guy's capable of, and I am sprinting. Like, you know how your adrenaline kicks in, and you've never, like, your legs are just moving like on their own. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt that. Tell me if you have, because it's like, honestly, it's like a weird feeling. Like, I could run as fast as I wanted to like that. And my friend's yelling at me. I don't know what's happening. And I just run. I take off. I go back to my friend's house. I go back to Chance's house. And he's still playing next. But he's like, yo, what happened? I come to his house in a panic. His mom's like, yo, what happened? I come to his house. I get in my room. I'm like, yo, I got to go home. I grab my backpack. I didn't tell him what happened because I was kind of nervous. And I actually ended up calling my mom and telling her to come pick me up. And I was supposed to be staying the night that night. She kind of wondered what happened. I made up some lie. I never told her about it. But that's pretty much what happened. That was my drug deal gone wrong. And I have a ton of more crazy stories. So if you guys want to hear them, make sure to stay tuned for more. And yeah, it's fantasy, guys. And peace out.